It's a sin, and humankind has sin in his heart. It's a fault in his heart.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's the Christian perspective.
No, a human being has sin. Yes, I agree. There's only maybe one human being that I can vouch has never sinned before. That is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Did Muhammad sin?
No, I want to remove that from all argument, and I want to talk about today. That's forget about
an important statement.
This is my understanding of things. This isn't my. This isn't my.
But come here to break with him. He's going to earn for me. He wants £500 basically.
So in the time of 1 minute, my friend, 1 minute. Respect your Muslim brother.
No, we're listening.
Brother, please. Yes, go ahead.
It's not Islamin that's doing this, not JC.
Anyway, what my point is, I understand that every single person has sin in their heart. Yeah, no, I've got negative understanding of things at times. It's like Muslim sin. White man like black man like Asian man like Arab man like every race in existence sins. They do violence, they do drugs, they do everything. Not one human today is perfect. I agree with you. Right. And by me saying that the Prophet Muhammad is perfect, you're thinking, oh, this is an understanding. That's maybe just my opinion. Someone else might not see it the same way. But how I've saw the layout of history and how that prophet is the final. This is what brought me to Islam. The finishing in all the prophecies. This is what brought me to Islam, because I researched in history about the 3 largest pagan ideologies. The ancient Egyptians. I'll let you speak.
So, I mean, you've stated something that I absolutely disagree with. You've said that Muhammad never sinned. Okay? So tell me, in Islam, is a man dressing in a woman's clothes considered a sin? No, I'm asking him. No.
I don't want to.
It's a very simple question.
All of these sources. No, these are sources. They may not be valid in opinion. We're all speaking on opinion basis.
No.
Forget about. I don't even want to speak about the Prophet Muhammad. I just want to speak about what's happened in the past. I don't want to speak about Muhammad or Jesus or anyone. I want to speak about the ideologies that you, a Christian, wouldn't agree with.
Hold on. I would suggest to you that if you read the Quran carefully, it states that Muhammad repented for his sins. I think yes,
indeed he did.
Thank you. So if he repented, 1 second, if he repented for his sins, then this brother has made a choice to accept Islam on a false premise. Because he's saying,
this is first time in speaking.
This is a very known fact that the Prophet Muhammad was a sinless.
I'm sorry. Wait. Notice. This is the typical. No, sorry. This is the kind of behaviour that we see again and again at speakers' corner. I am speaking to this brother, and now other people are interjecting, and I'm trying to make a point, and people are interrupting me. And sadly, bro, you have accepted a lie. You have been lied to.
Bob, okay, Bob. The baby been our prophet.
Whatever you would like.
Muhammad, right. So, no. I'm going to make my point. I was talking to him. Stop interrupting. I am talking to him. Stop interrupting. You're showing once again, as we see countless times here in the corner, the etiquette of Islam. The etiquette of Islam. This is the etiquette of Islam. This is the fruit of their deen. So he said,
as soon as he mentions what he's going to say,
so thank you. Okay, you've not obviously been Muslim long enough to let it affect your manners, which is good. So now, because you don't pay, so
£500.
Bro, the fact is, I know he's getting paid. You will see that Muhammad repents for his sin. So that statement is false, and the people that told it to you lied to you. 1 second. I'm also going to give you an example of a sin. Because I know for a fact that cross-dressing in Islam is a sin. A man cannot wear a woman's clothes. That is a sin in Islam. So let's look at this. This is a hadith It's from the Mishkat al...
Don't ask him, just let him say
Can I
everything.
finish with that? The deen of your religion needs improvement.
Yes.
And I would encourage you to become a
say.
Christian,
Mention what you've
because as Christians we are taught to treat other people how we want to be treated. So if you don't want to be interrupted, you don't interrupt. So try to control yourself.
You go back to your point.
So, I'm going to give you a quote, I'm going to give you my sources. I am not making this up. From the Mishkat al-Masibi, Volume 2, Book 26, Fitan, Chapter 38, The Fine Qualities of the Prophet's Wives. And we read, she told the people used to choose Aisha's day to bring their gifts, seeking thereby to please God's messenger. She said that God's messenger's wives were in two parties, one including Aisha, Hafsa, Safiya and Sauda, and the other including Salama and the rest of God's messenger's wives, which is more than four, but that's a by the point. Salama's party spoke to her, telling her to ask God's messenger to say to the people, if anyone wishes to make a present to God's messenger, let him present it to him, wherever he happens to be. She did so, and he replied, do not annoy me regarding Aisha, for inspiration has not come to me when I was in any woman's garments but Aisha's. Now, there's 2 points there. Yes, of course. There's 2 points there. Firstly, this so-called amazing person was getting annoyed at his wives about Aisha. He had favoritism to Aisha, despite the Quranic injunction not to have favorites. And according to these hadiths, he cross-dressed. He wore woman's clothes. In Islam, answer this question and then reply. Is cross-dressing a sin in Islam?
If you would let me speak,
of course,
for a minute, I'll just.
I will not interrupt you.
It's that hadith. At the end of the day, is it in the Sahih Bukhari? What hadith is it in? I want to know from what.
After the Prophet.
This is what I want to know, and I want to know was the narrator a Sahabi or was he just a normal man that was after the death of the Prophet?
Can answer that now. You want me to answer that now?
You can answer it when you want. I don't mind. And I want it to. I want to know if it's from the authentic chain of hadiths as well, and it's come down to the correct narrators, which are the 10 promised Jannah. They are the top.
Okay.
The 10 promised Jannah by the Prophet.
Jesus wore robes as well.
I would like to finish it.
Let him finish.
After this, and anyway, that's just me what I believe about the Prophet Muhammad and all the prophets. Can I go back to where I was going about the three ideologies? Because that's a very important.
You've asked a question.
That's to do with today and the
Moses,
Jesus. It's a bit of a two-chain subject. That's why
we will develop it, right?
Medicine.
Hold on. The brother asks a very fair question. He says, is it Sahih? Well, this was taken, the English translation with explanatory notes was given by Dr. James Robson in Mohammed Ashraf. It was published by Mohammed Ashraf Publishers, Booksellers and Exporters, Lahore, Pakistan, reprint 1990, page 1361, and it is taken from Bukhari and Muslim. Now, if you know your deen, if you know your deen, where Muslim and Bukhari agree the matter is settled, it is a fact.
You know where you're
right? It is considered Sahih. Bukhari's collections are considered Bukhari's selection.
Let me speak and
Bukhari's
speak. One by one, we will all say one thing.
Bukhari's selection is considered Sahih by Muslims.
All right, that's not a problem.
So now let me ask you
this. Whatever you believe is
I'm going to let you reply, but I want you to answer me this.
Right.
If when you research into this, you find that it's from a genuine source, that it's all authentic, that it's the isnad is sound, the matin is sound, are you going to leave Islam because Muhammad sinned? He's a cross-dresser, he wears women's clothes?
I will not leave Islam because that is not from... in my opinion, I will find sources that contradict that. Anyway, I want to go back to my... I've got sources that say nothing like that.
Okay, we'll leave that point, we'll move on. I think I've proven my point.
I know the narrators that I read into and I know the narrators that I don't.
So you continue, right, move on to the point that you wanted to make.
This is what I want to go back to. Please.
Okay.
I wanted to say one thing. I've come to Speaker's Corner to get one understanding. And I want to say what I've got to say. I understand where you come. Every human has a sin. You know what I mean? I totally believe in what you're saying. I believe in what you're saying. Every human has the nature to sin.
I agree.
This is in the Quran. This is in all the books. You know what I mean? But every time a prophet was sent to the human beings, and I'm talking about the New Testament prophets, the ones like Moses and, you know, Jesus and Muhammad, there was 3 powerful, you know, empires in each of those times, and they ruled the world. And do you agree with me or not? And is it not one powerful empire that rules the world today? This is the question. You know what I mean? It is one powerful empire. The government is of all races. The United Nations. There's blacks, there's Arabs, there's whites. There's poor blacks, there's poor whites, there's poor everything. Everyone's poor, everyone's rich.
Okay, so what point are we making?
My point is, look at the 3 empires that were ruling the world in those times. When each prophet, in the time of the ancient Egyptians, what prophet was sent?
Yeah.
You even believe in this prophet as a Orthodox Christian? Moses, of course. You believe in Moses? Of course you believe in Moses and Abraham. And they are also your prophets, just like they're mine, right? And we're on even platforms now, innit? So at that time, the ancient Egyptians, they were the most powerful, you know, they were the most powerful people on earth. Am I right? They were in Africa, but they were the most powerful people on earth. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Can we press on with your point?
This is where I'm
press on
coming
with your point. What point you? Yeah, go on.
Were they? And did they worship idol gods? I want to know if they worshipped idol gods. I want to know if they worshipped other than one God that is the Almighty, which is what a Christian man sees as God, right? I want to know if they did.
So what's your point?
So what prophet was brought to those people in that time?
What, sorry?
What prophet was brought to those people and he said, okay, please worship one God, he is the Almighty. The same thing that the Muslims and the Christians and the Jews say, right? Yes. They fell. Did they not fall? Did they not fall to what empire? The Romans. Yes, it was the Romans that took over after. Yes or no? This is simple stuff they teach you in primary school, man.
Go on.
The Romans took over, and what prophet was sent to these people? They were the most powerful polytheistic ideology in that time. Yes or no?
Keep going.
Wait, please.
Can you come to your point? What's your point,
were they not the most powerful?
No, bro. If you
were they not the most powerful?
What is your point?
I want to
and get cut to your
shut
point.
me down if I'm talking shit.
I'm just waiting for you to come. I'm trying to be patient.
They were the most powerful.
What is the point
the Roman
that you're
Empire,
making?
were they the most powerful
brother,
at the time when Jesus
all right. I have no idea what point the brother is making.
Right, now let me carry on to the third. Let me carry on to the third.
Bro. Come on, man.
Let me debunk this guy and destroy him.
Wait.
That's it. He's running away from me. But you're wasting time.
Wait a minute, I'm not wasting time.
You owe me £500. I'm still waiting.
Let me destroy him.
The third
still waiting.
Wait a minute. The third empire.
No one would run away from you,
I'm going to the third empire.
What is your point?
Jesus was sent to the Romans.
What is your point?
Was he not sent in the time where the Romans were the most powerful empire, and did they believe in pagan gods? Yes, they did. Okay, now the third empire. At that time of the Prophet Muhammad, what empire was there?
We're still Roman.
It wasn't the Romans.
You don't know history. He doesn't know history.
The Persian Empire was the most powerful in that time.
Wrong.
The Persian Empire was the most powerful.
Oh dear. Oh dear. If this is the reason,
yes or no?
You're wrong. I'm not correcting you. You're wrong.
My friend,
the brother,
this is 100%
the brother, unfortunately,
the Persians were ruling the world in that time.
Right, brother,
they were ruling the world in that time. They had the power over the most, over the majority of land globally. The Persians had.
Can I reply? No, he doesn't want to let me reply. He doesn't want to let me reply. Right. So, if this, I am going to teach you about history, right? Because out of the two of us, I bet I'm the only one with a degree in religion, and a degree in religion means you study the history of those religions. Okay, so I am going to correct you, right? And by the way, if this is the foolish logic that led you into Islam, then you need to leave Islam.
This is my understanding of how.
Okay, allow me to correct you. Allow me to correct you.
I want to know if that's not the truth.
Allow me to correct you. Allow me to correct you. Okay, so in the 7th century, when Muhammad came, as we believe as a false prophet, he came and there were 2 empires within his immediate region. The Persian Empire and the Roman Empire. Because the Roman Empire still existed. It was one of the most long-standing empires in the history of the world.
I agree, but they were weak.
It was not weak.
They were weak,
and I will explain why. Notice he doesn't want to listen. Notice he doesn't want to listen. Notice he doesn't want to listen.
Were the Romans not
He doesn't want to listen.